What is the purpose of life? Today we're gonna delve into this very interesting topic. It dominates our whole life on why are we born into this planet, but yet in this society construct, we are kind of conditioned to ignore it. It's the most important question. Why are we here? If you're gonna play a game, any video games, board game, what is the purpose of the game? How do we win this game? Or how do we have the most enjoyment from the game? And most of the time, we've just been taught to just follow the herd. Well, that's what we're gonna get into today. Is it just about like going to school, get good grades and get a job, and then eventually die? Or is there more to it? My name is Gary. I'm here to help entrepreneurs in the awakening journey to transcend to more peace, love, joy, success, whatever that you want. So until I started waking up over the last 18 months, I'm 42 now, it feels like much of my life has been running on certain constructs of what I believe life is about. Go and get a good education, make sure that you be a good person, so you're going to get the acceptance and love from your family, your friends, society, strangers, and then go and get a good job or run a good business, which the ultimate goal is make some money or make a lot of money, millions of it, and do it as quickly as you can, and then they go and try to have fun. And I'm glad that I've gone through that journey, but most people are not taught that the external is not going to bring you the happiness. We've been painted with this illusion that once you make a whole ton of money, you're going to be happy. Well, I'm here to shake up that reality or that perceived reality. The external stuff will never get you the happiness. There are plenty of millionaires and billionaires that are miserable. Not all the time, but are they that much happier than you? Not necessarily. And some people would argue, and I used to buy into this philosophy, well, money can't buy you happiness. Well, that just means that you don't know how to spend the money. Yeah, fundamentally you can say that, okay, well, if I don't have to worry about bills and putting food on table, there's no suffering, right? That's not true. Because as long as you rely on the external to bring you happiness, you really rely on the external high. Let's just say, for example, you went to a good restaurant and you had a wonderful meal. In this duality world, you say that, well, we had an amazing meal. What about the next one? Let's just say the next meal that you've had is even more amazing. So you surpass the previous experience. But what about the one after that? At a certain point, you're going to get to a stage that the next meal is going to be less satisfying than before. Oh, this is a disappointing meal. It's not as good as before. And worse, even when you hit your desired outcome, which is a great meal, you know that you celebrate it or enjoy it for 2 seconds, 2 minutes, 2 hours, and then it's gone. When you get stuck in traffic, you say, oh my God, I'm stuck in traffic. You forget about the great meal that you've just had. And it's not just about having a meal, whether it's winning an award, finding your ideal partner, having great sex. All of these are just peaks, and then you go through the troughs, the lower side. That's why when you go into a relationship, you've got a honeymoon period. Oh, it's new, it's fancy. When you buy a new gadget, a new car, a new house, you love it for a short time until, I got a scratch now. Oh man, I've been driving this for some time. The law of familiarity kicks in. It's no longer that exciting anymore. Yes, from a practical standpoint, it's better than sleeping on the streets. I get it. But what if you're sleeping on the street? You've been sleeping there for a whole month, and for whatever reason, you just suddenly felt warm inside in the cold night. Wow. Or you suddenly felt loved. I can tell you firsthand, I've experienced those states that are not dependent on your external environment. And those joy that's come from the internal, it can bring you a high level of happiness and joy and love than any external stuff can. Think of a moment that someone did something that aggravated you. Or maybe you don't even know what that person did, or someone cut you off, or it's an accident or something. So it doesn't have to be a person, it could be a situation. Something that created a charge in you, something that triggered you to either stress, anxiety, jealousy, frustration, anger, sadness. Think of a moment. It doesn't have to be big. Big or small, doesn't matter. Now, just take a few deep breaths. Now, how did you feel at the time? Based on that situation that happened, how did it make you feel? Which emotion did it evoke? Was it sadness, anger, frustration? Is it really true that external situation controlled how you feel? It doesn't matter whether the answer is yes or no. So the next question is, what if that feeling was not there? Someone used a eraser and erased that part from your memory, from your emotions. So if you were feeling sad in that situation, somebody got hurt, and suddenly you weren't hurt anymore, or you don't feel sad anymore. Like, let's just say you had an accident. The accident still happened, but if you didn't feel sad about the accident, how would you look at that situation? If someone yelled at you, you got upset, and you got a magic eraser, what if that feeling is not there? How would that, if you to relive that situation, how would you feel then? And for most of the people that I talk to, they say that, well, I'll feel great. In the absence of pain, in the absence of darkness, there could be only light and love. So they feel great. So if you felt less negative charge from that little exercise that we've done, and in some cases, a lot of the cases, if you completely dissolved the negative memory and the feelings that you had towards that event, that person, that situation, well, who had control of that feeling? We do. You do. We had that control all along. But we've been fooled to think that the external created our emotions. Am I saying that has no influence? No. The matrix, the environment, the society, what people say, they can influence us. How powerfully they influence you is up to the individual. Imagine somebody yelled at you, like, I don't like you. Imagine a cute little 2-year-old girl in a cute little pink dress comes up to say, I didn't like you, in a funny looking face. Are you going to get upset? But if it's coming from an adult, suddenly we get in charge, especially someone that we care about and we respect. But why don't we get charged from a little girl, a cute little girl, but we're getting charged by the adult? Because it's the meaning that we placed upon the situation, and that meaning can be programmed however we want. So going back to what is life about, if you are with me so far, that life is not about the external. It's not about the stuff. Doesn't mean that we can't have stuff. We can still have abundance of external stuff. Fancy car, go on holidays, flying first class, great meals, great friends, getting a massage, manicure, pedicure, whatever that tickles you fancy. But when our own inner peace and joy and love is not determined by the external, we're always in flow. We're not suffering based on the weather. We're not suffering based on what someone said to us. We're not suffering when we're in a traffic jam. We're not suffering when we lose a client. In this world of infinite possibility, it's quite possible it can happen. And from your experience, I'm sure that you've experienced some disappointment yourself. But imagine those situations. If you can arrive at a state, you can feel sadness at that moment, maybe for a few minutes, like watching a movie. You want to say watching a movie that has a sad part that the superhero got injured or one of the relatives died. So, I don't want to watch any movie that provoke any sadness. I just want to watch movies that are always happy, 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 happy. Well, it's a beautiful, sadness is a great thing. If you're not indulging it and constantly living in that place, any of the negative emotions, like eating chili. Imagine all your food, it just tastes like bread or rice. It's just plain for your whole life. First, you can taste spices, chili, sour, sweetness, salty, peppery. And you don't have to eat chili every single moment of your life. You get to choose how long you experience the chilliness. If you don't like it, drink some water, drink some milk to get rid of the taste. But at least you have contrast, you have flavor in your life. So what is life about? I'll get into more in a different video, but we came onto this planet of duality to experience contrast so that we get to experience more of ourselves as opposed to just being in a white room of bright light, nothing else but white. You may be infinite loved and infinite joy, and it's great, but for how long? A day? A year? A century? Before I say, hang on, yeah, I get the love part, but let me just feel some other emotion so I could appreciate love even more. You know, it's just like sometimes we don't appreciate our parents that much until we had to move out, or until we no longer live together with them. It's like, geez, man, all this time they cooked for us, they looked after us, or we didn't have to pay rent. That was amazing. Someone is nagging at us, but at least someone cared, versus just going into a room and there's no one else. But then if someone is always nagging at you, that's no good as well. So contrast, variety, how much of each portion is up to you to decide, but it's free will, free choice in this world. In this great experiment, we're just experimenting with life. And why don't we remember any of this stuff? Because if we came to this world remembering all this stuff, the first, if we just imagine if we're pure love and pure joy, the moment that someone screamed at us as a baby, we go, nah, that's too rough. I'm not used to this. Let's get me out of here. Or maybe you enjoy it for 2 or 3 times. The 4th time you say, well, hey, hang on. I'm used to infinite love and joy and happiness. Why the hell is someone screaming at me? I don't like this. Get me out. Imagine you're at a place that it doesn't have any mosquito, and you start going to a place that mosquito are biting you. After a few bites, or maybe a few days of mosquito biting you, oh man, I can't stand this anymore. Get me out. But if you didn't know that you had an option to get out, you stick around to fully experience that journey. And who's to say that you don't come out experiencing something more than just getting mosquito bites? Oh, mosquito bites. Oh, now I learned how to overcome it. I know how to prevent the mosquito coming around. People say this, life is a journey, it's not a destination. It's a journey for us to forget and remember. And this is what this channel is for. It's for the people that are starting to wake up. It's waking our buddies up, our brothers and sisters. I'm calling out to you. When you are ready, and for the people that are ready, let's wake up. On this journey, on this 3D world, we're experiencing more polarity as we go. The extreme weather, the extreme political climate, some of the technology on the press of a button, drones or bombs can be like creating more destruction than ever before. And there's more fear that's being created on news and media and everywhere. But at the same time, the energy of this planet is shifting on Gaia. More and more of our brothers and sisters are waking up. Let's unite together and share our stories with each other, encourage each other, love each other, and we could live life in a state of joy and peace, and without a lot of this division, separateness, different countries, different race, different labels of how each person, each group, each tribe, each nation is separate to us. It's time to evolve. We are always one. This is not some hippie doofus vision. I came from a very entrepreneurial background. All I wanted to do is make money fast and make a lot of money so I can just enjoy life, going to the beaches, holiday, and drink champagne. I didn't choose this path to wake up, probably just like you as well. But when it's time, you know it. You know that that's truth, what I'm saying. That's the whole reason you're still watching this video right now. Somehow you've been drawn onto this. You've been caught onto this journey to wake up and to help other people wake up.